Hi there, it's Scott Hamilton, Rockfile, back with another podcast for your ears. This one entitled Virus Update and Plans for the Future. Well, you don't really expect something like a pandemic to just kind of strike, but if you've read any science over the last few decades, or even science fiction over the last few decades, a lot of people will be predicting that a pandemic would eventually hit us. And fortunately, I mean, this one is deadly and people are dying, but it's not like Ebola or something, so we're thankful for a few things. And I think the lockdown is a good thing. I've been in kind of self-quarantine all week. My county, Broward County here in South Florida, just about 2 hours ago, we're at 5:30 on Thursday, the 26th. And Broward County finally put a stay-at-home ruling in place that starts at midnight tonight. Now, they do expect you to get out to get food, doctor's appointments, help people, that kind of thing. There are no penalties for it, but they felt the need to issue an order, and it's kind of sad. But I've noticed, I have run out a few times this week, and I've tried to keep them very brief, very safe. They were things like pickups where I didn't have to actually touch or get near anybody. I have been washing my hands religiously. I've been hand sanitizing when I go in and out of the house. I mean, I've taken extra precautions, and I hope everybody is. And so far, so good. I was just getting over a kind of cold thing when this struck, so knock on wood, or maybe I even hadn't got over it, which means I would be mostly immune to it now. That'd be great. But really, this is a real thing. I've just had a friend I saw online lose a close friend due to the virus. That kind of brings it all home when, friends and family are being affected. It's hard to imagine how bad things are when it's not your friends and your family, when you just see news reports, but you're not seeing bodies piling up or anything horrific on the news, that kind of thing. But this is a real thing. You should be staying at home. We got public service announcements from a lot of bands today for the radio stations saying, stay at home. This will be over before you know it, as long as we can break the chain of contagion. And I am not a doctor. Let me preface all this by saying I am not a doctor or a health professional. I go to cdc.gov for all my information, and that's what I follow. And in times like this, you have to trust the CDC and other government agencies when it comes to health. And if they tell you that sitting out of the game for a week or two is going to end the chain of people getting this virus and it's spreading so fast, then we can do it. It's really not that much of a hardship. It's been interesting to watch my Facebook feed and the people that are bored. Don't you people have hobbies anyway, or you just work all the time? I mean, I tend to work all the time, but I like what I do, and whether it's the radio stations or the shop or the podcasting or running the Facebook group that I run, that kind of thing. All that stuff keeps me busy, but I still have hobbies. So when things are kind of slowing down and shutting down, I got plenty of movies to watch, albums I want to listen to, some podcasts I want to do. And I know I haven't done a podcast in well over a week and a half, and I'm very sorry about that. I have a whole stack of movies and TV shows I've watched over here that I'm going to review. Matter of fact, I'll give you a partial list right now. God Bless Ozzy Osbourne. I finally watched that documentary. I finally finished the third season of Hannibal, the classic movie Thief from Michael Mann, the Rob Zombie movie 31, and even the 2018 version of Robin Hood. So those are all coming up. Also, I became an officially medical marijuana patient here in Florida, and I'll probably do a whole separate podcast about that. But I want to say good things about my doctor and finally talking to somebody really about what I consider to be a bit of a miracle drug, what it really can do, especially if you know what you're doing. And I thought I was a bit of a connoisseur, given my lifestyle for the last many decades. But you go into these dispensaries with some people that really know their stuff, and it's pretty impressive, and it's nice to be legal, and what a great day we're living in these days. So anyway, but with the virus going on, this is a great time to do all those creative things around the house, creative things in your life, things that I just haven't had time to do this. Well, now you do. And it's not like you have to become a hermit. I mean, I'm walking my dogs 4 to 6 times a day. They normally get 4 walks a day, but they're getting even more now because, well, they get bored too. And fortunately, I do have enough hobbies and enough things to keep me busy. And I'm going to get back into the podcasting thing. It's just been crazy busy as this stuff kind of took over everything, and now it's kind of slowing down a bit for me, at least, and I can rationalize some thoughts here and spit them out to you. So anyway, so plans for the future. Like I said, I've got a stack of podcasts I'm going to do, some great ideas. And all of those things that I were promising before all this happened, those are going to start real soon because looks like we got some time to hang out together. So thank you for downloading, streaming, or subscribing to this podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. There is a Patreon page, and with this time, over the next couple of weeks, I'll also be ramping up some of the private stuff that you can get only if you're a patron of the Patreon page. So check that out. The link is below. I'm Scott Hamilton. My website is therockfile.com. It does stay up to date with everything, as does my Facebook page. So feel free to follow me and reach out and give me some ideas on what you'd like, some podcast things you'd like to listen to while we're all kind of stuck at home listening and watching and finding things to do. I will endeavor to come up with some interesting things for you to listen to. I'm Scott Hamilton. I'm Rockfile, and thank you very much for listening.